Hey bitches, it's Elle with RRozelles Creations and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be working on a Ombré Woodgrain Peekaboo wave, a Ombré Peekaboo, a wave Woodgrain Peekaboo. I don't know, but here it is. This is what we are going to be learning today in our weekly YouTube tutorial. I wanted to share this before the 4th of July, but I was having technical difficulties and could not get one of my lives downloaded. But today, I was able to download it, and now you guys get to see this tutorial. I enjoyed creating this tumbler. It was so fun and different, and that's what I love about it. I use so many different elements, so many different products, and I can't wait to get into that with you guys. Down below in the description box, there will be a link and a discount code for every single product that I use. So are you ready? Y'all ready to get into this? Y'all ready? I know I am. Let's get it. All right, bitches, let's get into this ombre. So first, we are using a 24-ounce Plump from Tipsy Magnolia. Good news, I am now an affiliate with them, and you can get 10% off by using RRozelles, and that's down below in the description box. I am in love with these tumbler blanks, and you will see why towards the end. So to apply my first coat of glitter, I am going in with Adhesive Apothecary's Cauldron color in the color Ghosted. Ghosted is my sidekick. It's a 3-in-1 paint primer adhesive, and boy, the pigment. It dries pretty fast, so you know, but once your glitter's stuck, it's stuck. The first coat of my ombre is what I call the map. I just lay my colors and kind of get an idea of where my blends are going to be. And I have several ombre tutorials here on this channel as well as on my TikTok. But now that we got the first coat laid down, I'll grab my heat gun, speed up the drying process, and then we go in directly with the second coat. I am using Adhesive Apothecary's thick glitter glue because it gives me so much working time. I do a pretty thick coat. That way I can get my blends done really well. The glitter colors I am using, which I am so excited for these glitters, I am using PDB Creative Studios Sand Dollar, Firecracker, and Sparkler. Sand Dollar came from my curated pack, Glitter Pack 81, back in May, and that one is available on the site. Firecracker and Sparkler, those two were exclusive to the Sparkle Society group, and I had to use them on this tumbler. I had an idea, and I had to get it out my head. ELL saves $5 off of 20, and you can find it down below in the description box. So I went in with Sparkler first to do the top portion, and then I went in with Firecracker because that was on the bottom. I like to do my darkest colors first and kind of work my way darkest to lightest. Once I get both of my darker colors laid, I am going to go in with Sand Dollar in the middle, and you're going to see me tilt this baby back and forth until I get this blend just how I like it. I love ombre and glitter. There's just something about it, and here it is. I did have a couple spots I did not like, but this is going to be a peekaboo. And I'm just super hard on myself. But now we are going to let it dry overnight. It has been super hot here, and then we are going to seal this up. To seal my glitter and to seal anything that I need to seal, I use Adhesive Apothecary's Binding Potion. This is my go-to sealer. When you apply this sealer, it doesn't matter how thin or thick of a coat you use. It is going to dry clear, and it is going to flatten that glitter. It is going to give that protective barrier between the actual glitter and your epoxy. You aren't going to have to worry about any cloudiness. But I do suggest letting this dry completely. I usually let it sit for about 12 hours. But depending on your environment, you can epoxy as soon as 2 to 4 hours. We're going to speed up the rest of this process. I'm just cleaning some glitter that spread off of the stainless steel. But I am going to continue to seal my darkest to my lightest, cleaning my brush in between each color. Oops, almost forgot. When your binding potion starts to dry, it kind of gets sticky before drying completely. And if you have any glitter movement, all you have to do is literally dab your brush or your finger, and that glitter that moved will come off. That's another fave about this product that I just love. So let's speed it up, and next up's epoxy. All right, y'all, here it is. You see how it kind of looks white? Once this is completely clear, that's your sign that it's dry, and it's time to get into first coats. Now, I mixed up about 60 ml of epoxy because I was doing multiple tumblers at a time. But with the binding potion, by it flattening the glitter completely down, I only had to do about 30 ml over this raw glitter. The epoxy doesn't sink into the glitter because of the binding potion, that sealer. I could have got away with doing one coat, but I added another and it only took about 20 ml of epoxy, and we let it spin out. And once it dries, let's get into the Peekaboo. Now, down below in the description box, I have a how to wrap a vinyl template tutorial listed down below. I could not find that video because I know this was live in one of my Facebook groups, so I made sure to share the tutorial down below. The wave template can be found at Kimberly Hobbs Taylor Designs, and this is the wave template for the 24-ounce plump with the bleach spot. You can find that down below as well. Now, Elle, what did you use for the paint? That's where it gets good. Remember how I used Adhesive Apothecary's Cauldron Color and Ghosted to apply my first coat of glitter? Well, now I'm using that again for my Peekaboo. This is one thick coat of Adhesive Apothecary's Cauldron Color over the vinyl template. One coat. It is a 3-in-1 paint primer and adhesive, and I can now use it for everything. I can ditch spray paint. And I'm so excited, because down here in the South, it is hard as hell in a humid summer to get spray paint to dry correctly, and I ain't got time for that. The Cauldron colors are my sidekick, and I will scream how awesome they are from the rooftops. But let's get into how I wood grain. Now, this is a very long video, so I will be speeding it up here shortly. I have done so many wood grains, and I am just set in my ways on how to do it. So, I go in with Tim Holtz inks. I have them all listed below in my Amazon storefront. I use Tim Holtz Sepia, Ginger, Latte, and Caramel. That is a 1-inch chip brush from the Dollar General. I will go all around the tumbler with Sepia. That is the darkest color, brushing back and forth as if I was painting. And I keep brushing until the ink is completely dry. You will start feeling resistance on that chip brush when it starts to dry. Once I get sepia laid down how I like it, I then just start grabbing the other 3 random colors. No rhyme or reason. Whatever I grab, I use, and I keep brushing until I get the desired look that I want. Now, I did tape off the bottom of my tumbler to protect the stainless steel because I now use the bottom of my tumblers to seal my epoxy. So you can kind of see that tape line at the bottom. That's going to get pulled off once I am finished wood graining. But this is seriously how easy wood graining is. I'm going to speed this up. See you in a few to peel up this template. With inks, you can never mess it up. You just add more inks and brush it and fix it how you want it. So as soon as I am done wood graining, I do not let it dry. I go directly in and start peeling the vinyl off. In my opinion, you can use removable vinyl or permanent. I use whatever I grab. As long as the vinyl isn't staying on there for days and you are peeling that vinyl directly after you are done wood graining or whatever you are doing with your Peekaboo, you can do. I use it all. Let's speed it up and start removing this vinyl. Here it is, and now it's time to decorate that tumbler booty. In the beginning, I said that's what I love about these 24-ounce plumps or just Tipsy Magnolia tumblers in general. You can decorate the booty. So So let's get into decorating this tumbler booty. So I have a micro flathead, and I go grab my all-in-one screwdriver, all-in-one tool, whatever you call that thing, and I use the handle. I hit it a few times, and that bottom circle pops off, so you are able to decorate it. There is an outside ring and an inner ring, and I know exactly what we are going to do. We are going to use glitter and UV resin to get this glitter butt just right, how we like it. I am going directly in over the stainless steel. I am not painting it, but I used PDB Creative Studio Sparkler and Firecracker on the actual tumbler. But I think we are going to go in with Firecracker on the outer ring. And then this red, white, and blue star mix came with the Sparkle Society exclusive pack as well. So that is what we are going to use for in the middle. Here, I was trying to figure all that shit out. But here is the red, white, and blue mix with the stars and little confettis. That's going to go in the middle. Let's get into it. All right, so we're going to go grab PDB's UV resin. My fave. I love it. I use the heck out of this stuff. I put about 15 ml in 2 separate measuring cups. And this is where we're going to pour the glitter, get the glitter nice and mixed well, and start filling our booty. I'm going to try not to speed this up a lot because I have gotten a lot of requests on how to do this. So you see me pouring that star mix in the UV resin. I want it not thick, but a little on the thick side whenever I pour it directly into the center ring of this tumbler. So I'm going to use my stir stick. I'm going to get all the stars and the glitter covered with the UV resin, and we are going to pour that directly in the middle. Now that we got it mixed, let's scrape the sides and pour it directly in. I want it flush with the ring, but right at the top of the ring. I don't want it to overflow into the outer ring. So I'm going to use one end of my stir stick, and I'm just going to spread it out, get it in there even, and see if I need some more. But I think I mixed this one pretty accurate. Once we get this laid out and even, we're going to mix up the other color and do the same thing. So I'm going to speed that one up, but we'll be right back. I zoomed it in here so you can see it is flush with that inner ring. Now it's time to do the outer ring. Now we're going to go in with Sparkler, which is that red. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to mix it up in that UV resin, kind of thick, kind of not thick. You gotta find your right mix. And then we're going to use the bottom part that we're stirring with, the stir stick, and drop it into that outer ring. All right, we're going to use the flat end of the stir stick to spoon it in that outer ring. Let's get to scooping it in. So, I don't want it too deep, if that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense, but I want this level with the same exact ring my first mix was level with. I do not want it spilling over that inner ring. That is my guide and what I look at to make sure that my mixture does not overflow into the center. And look at me cleaning up as I go. Oh, it drives me crazy. So now we are going to go all the way around, scoop it in. Scoop it in. Easy peasy. And you already see, I got some into my mixture. But you know what? I just used my stir stick after I got Sparkler laid all the way around. And I just used my stir stick to mix it and mask it. And you wouldn't even know it was there. So let's speed it up. And then we're going to hit it with some propane and our UV light. Some people use a lighter. I use my propane torch. We're going to go over it really quick to pop all them bubbles. Then we are going to go in with our UV light. This can be found in my Amazon storefront. I will let it run for 2 minutes. But that's not all I do. Since I am putting epoxy over the bottom of this tumbler and the bottom is my seal, this will go sit outside in the sunlight for a good couple of hours so it can get real UV waves, curing that UV resin. But here she is. Isn't she beautiful? I love this tumbler and my vision came to life. Now, I don't normally do this part before epoxy, but it sat outside in the sun for a few days. Yes, I said few days. And my wood grain was super dry, so I went and cut some vinyl stripes using my Teckwrap craft vinyl. You can find a discount code down below with an affiliate link. I was like, I am going to use the glossy red metallic, and I'm going to cut it at 0.05 by 11.5. And then I'm going to cut it 0.05 by 11.5 to stripe my waves. Now that I have that bottom stripe done, let's get into striping each wave. So what I did is I took that same red metallic vinyl and I cut it 0.05 by 11.5. I wanted it super tiny so it didn't take away from the ombre peeking through. I'm going to speed this up because we're going to be here for a while. I went around each wave, and then when we come back, we're going to add another color. Now that I have my metallic red laid down, going around the waves, we are going to go in with Teckwrap Crafts. This is a royal blue, and I cut just multiple sizes, but this is the same size as the metallic red, 0.05 by 11.5. What I did with this color is I just went in between the metallic red and on top of the wood grain, and I really like how it came out. So we're going to speed it up, and I'm going to do that in between all the waves. So in this template, they have that bleach spot. So what I did is I went in my Cricut design space and I used the contour feature and I contoured the entire template to where I just had the bleach spot left. I then created a 0.56 offset on the bleach spot so I can get this sparkly metallic red from Teckwrap Crafts and put an offset around the bleach spot. Now I'm going to go in with Teckwrap Crafts transfer tape. We're going to put it on top of that offset, rub it down really good, and then we are going to apply this to the tumbler around that bleach spot. If y'all hear some thunder, it's about to get bad. But now that I have the offset on the transfer tape, we are going to line it up and we're going to place it on this tumbler. I always cut 2 of everything because usually I mess up, but I am surprised and happy to tell you that we didn't have to use that second one on this. It lined up perfectly. And another thing, I let this wood grain dry. I said 2 days out in the sun, and the heat and the transfer tape did not pull up any of my wood grain. I was worried about that because I did not do a coat of epoxy in between my vinyl. So I was pretty excited. You can see me pulling it really slow. The transfer tape pulled off fine and did not ruin the tumbler. So let's speed it up. I did not seal my vinyl or my wood grain. So here it is after the striping. I did not seal this, and I did one coat of epoxy over the striping. I never seal my wood grains ever. And the vinyl was pretty secure, so I just went into my coat of epoxy before applying my UV DTF decals. Here it is after that one coat. I know I only mixed up 20 ml of epoxy to coat over the vinyl striping. I only did one coat because I always do 2 final coats. So once this dries, we go into applying some UV DTFs, and then we're going to seal it up. All right, y'all, this UV DTF came from Petey Creative Studio. The month of May was my glitter pack month, so it was patriotic, nautical themed, and this UV DTF wrap was a part of the Sparkle Society pack. This came with the 2 glitters that I used on this tumbler, Firecracker and Sparkler, and I had to use it. So after cutting up this UV DTF, I randomly placed them all over the tumbler. I put a firework in the center, right where that bleach spot is, and then I went where the wood grain swirl is with the wave. I added the remaining UV DTF fireworks right through that wood grain path. I don't know. We added a couple more right there on the wood grain. I had so much fun creating the glitter pack. I even designed some of the vinyl. It was an amazing experience. So I wanted to create a tumbler using everything that had to do with my pack, and this was one of them, and I'm glad to share it with y'all. But my idea that I had before my glitter pack even got in my hands came to life. And I love when my ideas work out and come to life. So let's speed this up. We're going to seal in these UV DTFs. And then, yeah, it's going to be complete. And here it is after applying the firework UV DTF, and I love it even more. Now let's get into sealing this with this Celestial Luster from Adhesive Apothecary and the color Iris. This is my favorite Celestial Luster, and it was brand new. This is my first time using it, and just look at that shift. So a little bit about Celestial Lusters. It is a sealer and a shimmer all in one. Not only does it seal like binding potion, but it adds a beautiful shimmer to your tumbler, to the decals, and this one is by far my fave. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I just don't feel like mixing an additive into my epoxy. So being able to knock out 2 birds in one stone, yes indeed. You can even use your finger to apply a brush, and just know the more you add, the more shimmer you're gonna get. If I want more shimmer, I will let my first coat dry completely, and then I will go in with a second coat. That's usually what I do, but I didn't have to do it with Iris. There's a discount code below with a direct link. Once this dries, I will then go in with 2 final coats of epoxy. I didn't record that, guys. Sorry. I had lots of family in. I got some photos for you. Here it is complete. I just love how this came out. And it was all the products from my collaboration with Petey Creative Studio. Thanks so much for watching, bitches. And thanks for all the likes, subscribes, and shares. Let's get it, and it's only up.